Good morning, everyone. Today, we are here looking at the markets. It is expiration Friday on December 18th, 2020. So this is the last serial expiration of the year. And we are here looking at a little bit of action today. But before we do that, some brief disclosures that all of the information, commentary, and opinions expressed on this or other websites or any social media platforms and any other media formats reflects the personal opinions, viewpoints, and interpretations of the employees providing such comments and are not considered to be a description or offer of advisory services by Harvested Financial. The opinions are expressed for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or specific security or investment product. It is only intended to provide education about the financial industry. In no way is the content on this website meant to convey investment advice, performance data, or any specific recommendation to buy or sell securities. Harvested Financial employs multiple methods of analysis and security selection to create client portfolios, which are not discussed in their entirety here. All investments carry the risk of loss, and clients should discuss any decisions with their financial advisor. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. So with that out of the way, we are looking at what's going on today. And after making all-time highs yesterday, we are also tipping up a little bit this morning. Oops, well, we were, and now I just looked and we were down about 8 cents in SPY. So relatively flat open, down 8 cents in the SPYs, up 22 cents in the Qs, and up about 80 cents in IWM. So we are looking at what's going on. And like I mentioned at the beginning, today is the last serial expiration of the year. So one of the things that we always look at in terms of serial expirations is just how much liquidity is out there. And that's because these serial expirations are those monthly expirations that every single stock that has listed options has an expiration on the monthly basis. They have some different cycles going out later on, but the front 2 months are always listed for every single options class. That means that there's a lot of deep liquidity in those because they've typically been listed longer than the weeklies to the extent that it was a further out month, but we always know that those are going to be there. So December 18th, big expiration, and I want to look at some open interest first. And think about maybe where we might see some action this morning. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my trade hawk here. And, like we said, SPY's down about a quarter right here. And I'm going to pull up the open interest here. That's showing volatility, and I meant to select open interest. So here is what I'm looking at with the open interest. And we can often use this to get an idea about where some of the positioning might be and where some of the gravitation is going to be. And these strikes have been listed for a long time, particularly in a name like SPY. So they tend to gravitate towards the round numbers. 370, we've got a lot there. 38,000 contracts of open interest, just under. Up at 373, though, interestingly enough, we've got about 52,000 contracts. So even though we're sitting at 370 right here, we've got some 373. That 375 line has quite a bit of open interest on it. But then let's go down to the 365 because that's going to be something that's going to have been listed for a while. And so the reason I'm gravitating towards these round numbers is there's not only the sort of round number fallacy that we talk about with investors, that people like round numbers. Is SPY going to 365 or 375? We're less inclined to think several months out that it's going to 367. But it's also a function of when the strikes were listed. So when they listed them way back in the day, they were listing the round numbers most frequently and not that sort of granular name. So we are going to see more likely to have higher open interest in some of these round number strikes. Really, the biggest on the board for this expiration is going to be that 375 line. So we're really looking at there's definitely some pull right there, but it's really hard to know that kind of sometimes when we're stuck right around that 370 in between some of these larger quote unquote like gamma pools, it's not totally clear. I don't actually see, looking at this, any super strong indication of where there might be that pull. So really interesting to pay attention to. But that said, I think we're going to see some whipsaw action in the market today, especially going into the close, as people are tying off a lot of this end of 2020 type positioning. So, often December 18th was used as a positioning to speculate on how 2020 would work, how the election would come out. We had a lot of vol buyers come out here. And so I expect that there's going to be some shakiness in the market today as expiration unwinds and the impact of options is actually seen all the way down on the underlyings. So happy trading out there. Expiration Friday, the last one of 2020. We hope everyone's going out and enjoying a safe holiday season here. We'll be around next week with the Daily Bread. So tune in here every morning, as always, 8:35 Central, 9:35 Eastern. And check us out on Twitter at harvested_DAFE. We're putting out some really interesting content there. A really fun open interest analysis on IWM there this morning. So thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.